Hello guys, how are we doing, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the Help with Harrz series where I review your gameplays to make you hopefully a better gamer. Think of it as free coaching where I just basically run over your gameplay, point out things you want me to look at, and see if I can spot some mistakes and ways in which you can improve. If you want to submit your form, there's a link down in the description where you could submit. You just have to upload a VOD to Twitch or a VOD to YouTube. Send me a link and I can watch it and then go through it, just like I'm going to do in this video. Before we get into this, I'm just going to go through the format of what today's video is going to be. Obviously, I'm going to be changing the format and the way I do things. So every Call of Duty season, I will be deleting my inbox of reviews that people want me to do and starting again. So if you find by the end of one season your VOD hasn't been reviewed, just record another gameplay or resubmit that same gameplay and for me to review. The reason I'm doing that is because I ended up reviewing people's gameplays when they've progressed so far already. So there was 2-month-old gameplay I was reviewing, and it's just not the most up-to-date way to help people improve because they've probably already improved in that 2-month gap. So this is a way to hopefully keep things fresh and keep the content fresh. At least it'll keep up to date with new patches and things like that. So every season the inbox will be depleted of these submissions. So if you haven't seen your review in that season and you want me to review it still, either record a new gameplay or just resubmit the same one you did as just like the new date, and I will it'll be back in the list for me to review. Obviously I can't do them all, but if you make it something that hasn't been reviewed before, if it's about a topic you want me to focus on that I haven't covered in another video, it will mean that it's more likely to become part of one of my YouTube videos. So that's it. Let me know your thoughts. If you want any changes to what I've just said, just let me know down in the comments. At the end of the day, this is our channel and it's to help you guys out the most I can. So if it helps, brilliant. The format of the videos are going to remain mostly the same. I'm going to review the form we've got here. We're then going to look into the gameplay and then give you guys a couple of pointers at the end of the gameplay on how to improve. There's going to be a couple of things you can pick up on, and then I'm going to give you an expected rank where I think you could reach given the input I've just given. So here's the form this player submitted on May the 13th. Their name is Bass Fishing. They play on a console, the new gen console at least, so it's not too bad. They play 24 hours a week. They're currently Gold 1. Their highest rank in MW3 was Gold 2. They play 8 and 8 sensitivity, 105 FOV, and their setup looks pretty decent. The only thing that is a little bit behind the times, I would say, is the controller, but that's not a problem whatsoever. The controller, as long as you're quick with it, you're absolutely fine. What would they like me to focus on? Aim, movement, smart decisions. So this video is going to be focused on how to make smart decisions, especially for control on invasion, because that's obviously what the gameplay is. So yeah, let's see what we can do to help. So the first thing off on invasion, I do prefer to know where they're going. So a route I like to take, excuse me if I end up looking left and right, I've got different tools I use. So say on invasion, you have to know whether they're going B or A first of all, and in order to know that you have to watch across. So you could stand on top of this bin just here, stand like this and look down the middle of the map, and from the middle of the map you'll get an idea whether they're going A or B, and then you can go to either side depending on where they think they are. Now the worst thing you can do is just not get that info and run directly to B, or get that info and run directly to A. So yeah, let's see how we play this out. Okay, so we decided to go A straight away. And the biggest mistake you're making right now is the lack of use of your tacticals. So you've got a grenade and a frag there, stun grenade and a frag there, sorry. And what you can do, there's a sign, if we scoot back, there's a sign up to the right here behind my face cam, which you can, as you're running to this the bin, you lob a grenade over the sign and it lands pretty much on the white car, which will sort of deter their push a little bit. So that's always a nice way, especially if you have a frag grenade, because it will get that distance that you need. Because what we're doing here is essentially backing all the way up to this back wall here, and it allows them to essentially get quite far up the map without you being quite far enough up to meet them. So you want to have a little bit more of a direct approach to the hill itself, or to a site. At the end of the day, you've got to the point you have no info whatsoever on where they are. They literally could be around this corner where my cursor is, and you wouldn't know. So you're really playing, you're relying on reactions. You're not benefiting yourself in the situation that you could be. You're leaving it unpredictable, is what I'm trying to say, and you don't want to do that. Yeah, so there's a couple of ways to negate what's a surprise attack. Obviously you paused there because you had to mute some people, and as a result I actually think that probably saved your life. So the route I actually like to take coming off A, so this is where you spawn, is you either jump over that bin and you throw a nade pretty much over this area, and it basically throws it over the car, and you end up killing people here, which is what I mentioned at the beginning of the video. But even so, even if you're not throwing that nade, you want to take a route pretty much to here, look down this LOS here to see if anyone's over the fire truck. If you're not sure if people are there, you can run up to this tank, hop on the tank and look over, but at the end of the day, you need some sort of info. The best route I like to do off spawn is to hop on this little dustbin here, look down this LOS to see if there's anyone crossing over towards B or to the mid tank, and then following that, run straight down middle and then cut them off directly. What you want to do though is make sure you stun nade here to stop them pushing up this P1 side, and then from here you can pretty much the whole cross towards A and catch them off guard. If they don't go A, you're close. If you're sat here, if they don't end up going A, you're close enough to B to turn around and literally face B. So this is a nice real spot to be in, and it's my favorite route off spawn. So make sure you guys are trying to implement that into your gameplay if you want to improve. So kick it back to the gameplay and see what we can do. So it's nice. You've got one player down. That's two players down. Get the third kill. Perfect. Now on control, it's all about map control. You want to push when you can push and get the pressure up the map. If you think of a map like, if you think really tactically, you've just got three down. They're all pretty much going to be spawning in this area. You want to cut the map off to both the points as much as you can. So you want to say, okay, there's three people going to spawn back in Palace. Let's try and cut them off here. If you're sat here, say here, and on the tank here, there's three ways you can watch and deter their push really quite easily. The problem with sitting back here and waiting for them to come is that, let's say you're here, you lose the gunfight to an enemy player who's here. By the time you spawn back in, they're already on the point. If we take up an approach where, let's say we're here, you lose this gunfight, they've just pushed here, whereas you've just spawned in here. So it's still a 50-50 push back to A, and it leaves you at a not an advantage, but it's definitely not a disadvantage, which is what would happen if you sat on the point, died on the point, they push the hill, because you'd end up spawning all the way back here. So yeah, this is what I'm saying. In short, you want to push up this map control, get out the map as much as you can, kill them off spawn. You can sit on that. There's a tank right there where you can sit on, literally just there looking into bottom palace, and it just enables you to get some really free kills. It's a nice way to pad your stats as well as not letting them out their spawn. So we continue to do this for a while. We do get a kill here, I believe. Or at least we shoot. A teammate gets a kill here. Now, I'm trying to find a positive in what you're doing here, because it's really hard to justify what you're doing because you're giving up so much map control. But what I do like is you're checking both sides. You're at least making sure they can't come down either line of sight, and that is always a bonus to me. So I do like that. That's nice. And your shots from the other guy away across the map seem pretty decent. Now you're pulling back. You're giving up more map control there, which I don't like. You've just noticed the teammate has died front, which is why you've turned your attention. So your awareness is pretty good. There seems to be comms on the map as well, which obviously helps. But you've just fallen to this guy here. Let's see what we could have done to avoid that. Yeah, so you've got no cover there whatsoever. It's a real tough situation, to be honest, because you know, you've given us so much map control, you have no idea where they are. If you got into that tank, it limits where they could be, and you probably don't lose that gunfight. So we're spawning in, you know they've got pressure towards A, they can't get B anymore. And again, we're not checking the right whatsoever. We're not knowing whether people are there or not. You trust there's a teammate there, you see there's a green dot from an enemy shooting, but we're not paying any attention to whether or not they could be literally anywhere here. They could be me running across and you could do nothing about it. So yeah, I'd like a little bit more observation on, you know, when you're pushing somewhere, at least get some info. And again, we're waiting on the point. I like this, you're checking if it's free, and then, yeah. Okay, so we've just checked this area and we know it's free because you've been here for a while, you haven't been shot at. I would like to see you get some map control, push up here, even if it's to this little barrier here, even if it's to the fire car here, you've got map control and it allows them to, you know, they've got to get through you before they get to the point, essentially. Nice, push up, that's 3 down, that's 3 big kills. I'd love, again, to see some aggression. As I say, as I displayed in that little drawing, if you take the gunfights on the hill, you lose, you spawn in the back, they're pretty much on the hill by the time you spawn in, and you're then trying to get them off the hill. Whereas if you push up into their spawn and you lose a gunfight, you then meet back at the point after you've both spawned back in. So it's always ideal, especially when you get 3 people down on control. Push, push, push. I'm actually going to give you a couple of quick spots that you can sit in on that offense. So there's a tank here. Let me move these players out of the way quickly. So there's a tank pretty much here, which you can sit on and look all the way down this little corridor here, and it allows you to get any sort of pics of people coming off a spawn. So you sort of can have someone there. You can have someone sat even up here, and they'd spawn this side, and you'd catch them anyone running across the way to B. You could sit in the middle tank here. You can either sit on it as a heady or sit on the corner of it just here and watch the whole cross here. You'll catch enemies running this way, you'd catch enemies running through here, you catch enemies running through middle. It's a really nice spot to have. And then similarly, if you've got teammates who are already pushed up on both these sides and this side, you want to fill the gap. You don't want to allow them to get through B because it's just a free way for them to get into your spawn. So in that instance, you'd pick up either sit on B tank, you could sit in the back of the little construction site here, or you could even sit on the digger here and just make sure they can't come down this area whatsoever. But what's important is you make sure you get that map control. Because as I say, you lose the gunfight on the point, you're going to lose the game. Or at least lose that point. Unless your teammates are gods, which they might be, I don't know. But as I say, if there's anything that I'm saying that doesn't quite make sense, you want a little bit more clarity on it, feel free to message me on anything. Your Discord, Twitter, the links are all down in the description. But if you want to comment on this just as a question, you can do. But obviously I won't be able to put screenshots of any sort of diagrams or anything in the description or in the... See, that was a nice movement. That whole process was actually quite nice. So it got shot, a nice little evasive maneuver. I think you need to be a little bit more confident, honestly, because your jump shot in there is fine. I like your shots generally over the time of this map that I've seen. It's just a shame that your position on the map isn't good. It's making those smart decisions which might be losing you certain games. But technically speaking, your skill at actually using the guns and playing COD seems fine. Okay, let's see what we do off rip here. Okay, so we run to A. Nice nade, cut off their push. Okay, I don't mind this. Follow your team up, get the trade. Love it. Okay, so how can we improve upon this whole situation right here? So you just got that trade. You've got another gun. I mean, you have another gun that is just as strong as the Renetti, especially now after the patch. I know this is pre-patch. This was sent beginning of last month, so it's not going to be quite the same. But you know the enemy is going to be coming from this way, so I would love a pre-aim. Just pre-aim. If they're not there, oh well. If they're there, you're at least ready a little bit faster than they will be if they're sprinting at you. Yeah, you had 3 burst Fs in the Renetti. Not a great situation to be in. So yeah, if you think they're going to be there potentially, which I think you did because you looked there, you may as well pre-aim. But it's good you put a little bit of pressure up. I don't mind that. Just personally, if you're in a 4-stack, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a hint here. If you're in a 4-stack, especially when you're communicating, you know what you're doing. I don't know if you're in a 4-stack here, but I can see you're at least communicating. If you've got to this far already on the map, you may as well just get into the point. And what you can do in the point, you can lay down in a corner, looking this way, making sure you can't get shot from the left here, and then you and your teammate can watch that way. You can then have a couple of teammates who can sit a little bit further back. They can sit here, they can sit on the fire car. They essentially make sure you can't get pinched. If you're sat on this X, pre-aiming the front exit, you're probably going to win that gunfight 9 times out of 10. You will, because you've got decent shots. The only way you can die is if someone comes in the back, which is what I say, you can have a couple of teammates hanging back a little bit. But yeah, I feel for sure that's the best play to do in this situation. So yeah, it's fine. We move, you lose the gunfight. Let's see what we do off spawn. Okay, a little bit of a pre-aim. I like that. I don't mind that. And again, you've gone to A because you're aware that your team's there. They need a little bit of support, and the numbers help. So that's a big thumbs up from me for that. Again, your shots are clean. You're shooting well. You just need to have that map knowledge and that know when to push and how to make those smart decisions, which is obviously hopefully what I'm covering here. But that's a nice little series of events there. Shots really good. Again, you're clearly a competent shooter. I get free kill if I've ever seen one like that. Yeah, and it's probably you're probably not so sure what to do here. So the difficulty you've got here is that the enemy team you're so open. That's the shortest way of saying it. You are really open to multiple attacks. What you're hoping to do is to catch enemies running to the point just here. You've just got multiple kills, so they're going to be looking for you. They're going to know where you are off spawn, and they're going to come right for you. So the chance of them literally just running out like this, probably quite slim. You're so open to the right. You've got no cover from the right here. You've got a little bit of a pillar here, but it really doesn't do much. So anyone that spawns in decides to go through rugs, which is this building just here, they can shoot you for free in the side, which we want to try and avoid. So personally, what I would prefer to do when you're in this situation is to be a little bit of a kill whore. Run into rugs, pre-aim their spawn, play your life a little bit, make them guess where you are. They know you've just killed 3 of them, they're going to be looking for you. Play a little bit more unpredictable. And what you can do is a lot of the times when your team have got B control, they can spawn over the top of the parking lot, and they oftentimes run over the bin to get back to the hill. So what you can do is sit in rugs here, look out this door towards the bin, hop up, and get some free kills. If that fails, you can literally try to get to the gas station, run around, and then you've got another 3 or 4 kills in their bag because they've all just spawned in. But sitting here, you've stayed here a little bit too long. They're gonna guess you're here, and you have no cover other than from the front. So it's putting yourself in those best positions for that situation. Okay, well, that was your teammate. I thought that was you again. So you come up spawn, your teammate's got good map control here, so you're not too scared to push up. You have seen one die. Nice shots. Okay. So you are half health. If you look at this bar bottom left, you're half health, which means it takes them 2-3 bullets to kill you, and you're gonna have to take them. You're gonna have to shoot 4, 5, 6 bullets to kill them, depending on what patch you're on. You know one's there, and instead of just shooting, you've been a bit shotsy about it. You've decided to lunge around the corner, open yourself up massively. As I say, you don't really know how many people are here. Now, hindsight, we know there's 2, but you don't know that at the time. You don't know how many people are here. There could be 1 or 2 people waiting for you, and as a result, you're going to have 3 people shot at you. Currently, you've got cover behind this wall to anyone who might be behind here, and this player is literally just here. You can shoot them. There's no need to maneuver. Yeah, you may as well just shoot them and move on from that point. Yeah, bit overzealous. You didn't need that movement. You could have literally strafed while aiming in to kill them. Didn't need all that, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, your teammate's still got a decent amount of control on construction, which allows you to get to this stage. So he's playing really well there. They're playing really well. They allow you to get to this bit of the map without feeling too pressured. If he dies here, or they die, sorry, don't know if it's a boy or a girl. If they die there, they could push up to your tank, they could push up to construction, they could push up to this digger here, and it'll make it a far more difficult situation to be in. But it seems like they do a good job of keeping the map control, which is what anyone on your team should be doing. Good nade. You haven't had your assist yet, so you haven't had the kill. You kill the guy you got naded to because of how little bullets it took for them to be killed. I see a little bit of pressure on the point now. Nice, you got your trophy. Now, what's essential on this hill is to make sure you have areas covered. Now, realistically, there are only 3 ways you need to watch. Front. Oh, that's a bit big. Front, Barber, DVD, sorry, and the Dark Pinch. Now, if there were 4 of you, I'd suggest someone watches the Flint Pinch as well, because that can catch a lot of people out. But you need to be very aware of where your teammates are looking on the menu and make sure you're looking somewhere they are not, to make sure there are no gaps. So let's see if we do that here. Okay, you've got a teammate looking front, you've got a teammate looking dark, perfect, and you're also looking front. So the only danger we've got here is if someone pushes DVD. Now there's 4 of you, you can make this even easier, but there's a round. We love that. Good round from you, to be fair. Okay, I prefer this route because you're giving up less map control. But again, we've got no information on the people on the right. You have no idea how many are pushing. You don't know if they're going A or B at this point. If they all go B here, they've got a free cap. So yeah, take note of those annotations I made earlier on in the gameplay. See if you can implement that into your game when you play Invasion Control next time, especially if you've got a force act, because you can coordinate it a little bit better. In any case, they've captured B now, perfectly fine. But I feel like we're going to see you sit on the point for another round here, which I'm a little bit worried about. Hopefully, there's something we can try not to do going forward. Again, not bad shots. Good shots again. Good movement to get back out of the gunfight. Nice slide behind the wall. I'd love you to get that map control. Honestly, you're going to be sick of me saying it, but I hope that means you remember it. At the moment, you don't have 2, 3, or 4, even like 4 people down on the enemy team, so you don't really know where they are yet, and you can't lock their spawn in. But if you've got a free route to their spawn, as long as your teammates are getting kills in your spawn, you've got free kills out of their spawn. They basically spawning them at your feet, free kills for you. And that way it will just, give more interactions, give more engagements, and it'll level you up a little bit more. Now, obviously, you win this map, but if you were to play good people who had really good shots, they're killing you off this point straight away. They're running down AS&D, they're killing you off this point, and then they're just going to hop onto it before you've even spawned in. So getting from gold up to, platinum, even maybe diamond, you just need to maybe work on that map control, especially when you're playing control. Rough timing. Rough timing here. Let's see what we can do to try and prevent that. I don't know why you're so stuck to the point. So you knew someone was there, and you've positioned yourself even further out of cover here. There's a little bit of cover you have here. You're even further out of it. You have no cover now. If he chows and runs to the point, which he's going to do because he has to capture the point, you're an open target ready to be shot at. So even if he... even if you don't throw a stun here, you're not putting yourself in the most favourable spot. Now, if you did want to challenge someone here, my advice would have been to run quickly to this fire truck, look over the bonnet into the clocks. That's what I like to call it, the clock room, or cafe, whatever you want to call it. But it provides you that little bit of a head glitch. And then from there, if you're still not sure where they are, throw the stun. So yeah, that's what I'd have done differently there. But again, you're putting yourself in an unfavourable situation from just that positioning alone. Nice, somehow they're getting through to A, which is a little bit worrying, but hey, it is what it is. So an enemy's just killed your teammate from in laundry. He's then pushing slightly closer to the hill. Big kill. Round-winning kill, potentially. I'm not sure how the round goes. 2-piece, love it. It's 2 down. You're looking for 2. There's 2 off spawn. Notice your teammates here pushed all the way up. This is what all 4 of you need to be doing a little bit more, as long as you're not leaving gaps. That's the worst thing. If 4 people push up and there's a gap, the enemy just gets through, and you've also then got to track back. So you only really want to push up as long as you've got all 3 of those main areas covered, which is what I showed earlier on. Great spot there. Nice nade. I think that was a decent nade anyway. But yeah, you want to throw it. That's the sort of throw you want to do off of spawn this side, because it just stops them even potentially getting to the hill. Okay, Swift 3-0. What's our in stat line? It is 15 and 9. Not bad. Got the job done. You're positive. 3 captures. Looks like a good result, but there's a couple things I want you to work on. We'll start with the good, actually. We'll start with the good. So I do think your movement's pretty clean. I've seen worse movement in higher ranks, for sure. Your shots are good. You're winning those long-range gunfights, so you're clearly comfortable with your sensitivity, your aim, and your setup. Love that for you. So yeah, big positives in my book. It means the rest of it is quite easy. You just need to use your head a little bit more. So first thing I want you to work on, especially on control, is to, when you can, get map control. When you get map control, the game becomes a lot bloody easier. And it means you can have free kills. There are multiple times on this map where you could have set up, got kills off of their spawn. You'd have been on a god heady. They'd have just been running out like fish in a barrel, and you'd have just got kill after kill after kill with ease without even trying, as long as you have good shots, which you do have. And then the second thing I want you to try and implement in the game is to use your especially on invasion, is to throw that frag over the sign at the very early in the round just to stop their deterrence, and also get an idea of, get some knowledge on the map. So you ran, you didn't play for info much at all here. Both times on defense, you didn't know whether they're going straight to A or straight to B because we didn't do the check. It's not a problem if one of your teammates does it, but I don't think any of your teammates were. But just to cover my opening route again, just in case you've forgotten a little bit, I like to either throw a grenade from here to here, which you can do pretty easily. If that fails, if I like to, what I want to do, basically torch the cross, I'll pop on the bin, look down the middle, get the info there. If anyone in crosses, great, you can play for them. You can then run to B and you pretty much meet them there almost the same time as they get there themselves. Failing that, if you don't see anyone cross, you'll see them cross this way pretty much. If you don't see anyone cross that side, you know to go A. And the best route to do to go A is to run through and sit on this heady here. And if you want to sit on that heady, actually I wouldn't even sit on the heady, I would lay down in front of it. I'd run here, lay down in front of that heady, and you'll see anyone coming out of calf, you'll see anyone approaching the hill from this side, you'll see anyone approaching the hill from this side, and you've just got, again, because you've got good shots, I trust you could do this well, you've got a really easy play to get them into A. Failing that, if you have teammates who push, let's say this is you here, you've commented that there's people crossing to A, you have teammates on the tank, you have teammates pushed up to this car maybe. A nice play you could do if you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive is to run here, clear this area here, as long as, you'll get the info anyway, but as I say, you want to stun or nade this area here to open it for you. And you could literally pinch the whole thing. You'll find maybe a guy sat here, maybe a guy walking up to the hill, and it's 2 kills here. And then from that, you can progress up the map, sit on the tank, and pick them 2 guys straight off spawn as they run out. So that's just an idea. Try and implement that, see how you get on. If you want like an example of how that would work, I can do that for you. But that's the easiest way I can hope to explain it. As far as potential ranks are concerned, obviously you're gold 1 and you were gold 2 last year. I don't know how you're not higher. You play 24 hours a week, what's that? 3 and a bit hours a day? I for sure think you should be higher rank, especially given your shots. You just need to play a little bit more aggressively. I feel like after watching this, hopefully you don't lose an invasion control, or at least you find it a lot easier to play. But I for sure seen you getting platinum. I've seen worse players, skillful wise, like worse shot and movement in diamond, in like the lower ranks of diamond. So if you can really nail how you play the maps, I assume hardpoint you probably don't know what you're doing in the same way you wasn't sure what you were doing in control. If you could implement a smarter regime in all of your game modes, I think you're going to be able to get to diamond pretty easy by the end of this year. And if obviously this is a tips and tricks video just for control invasion. If you wanted more examples of how to play certain maps, feel free to have a look through the back catalogue on my channel. Find a map that you struggle with in the thumbnail. My thumbnails are pretty much always the map I'm playing on. So you find, say you're struggling on sub-base hardpoint, find a gameplay of mine that's on sub-base hardpoint, have a peruse and see how I play, and try and mimic the runs and the routes I'm taking to get to certain hills, so on and so forth. So I hope that's helped. First of all, if you have any questions, as I say, you can contact me Twitter, Discord, pop it down in the comments below. But as I say, all the links are down below. And if you guys, for those of you who aren't bass fisher or whatever you're bass fishing, feel free to submit it for yourself, and enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao for now.